Hello, hello. We are loading in and we should be live everywhere. Let's get this started.
Jean Parmenov, real name Raphael Gravin, was once the largest French streamer on Kick, as well as the fourth most watched creator on the platform as a whole. Viewers watched for his rage-filled reactions to losing in different games. And while he started off playing video games, he eventually transitioned into doing more IRL streams, many of which included him hanging out with other French streamers. He was on track to becoming even more famous. And with that goal in mind, Jean and his partners announced their biggest project to date in August 2025, a marathon stream. Put simply, they were going to stream every second of their lives for at least 10 days. And things went just as planned at first, with the marathon lasting over 12 days.
People. I will be
but
on
just
chat.
when it seemed like the continuous
looking
stream
for
would
me
never
right now, I'm
end,
just trying
a
to set
single
up.
tragedy brought everything to
That's
an
not working.
just past midnight on August 18th, Jean went to sleep while still on camera. Not long after that, the stream showed him tossing and turning before calming back down. A few minutes later, a donation alert woke up one of the other streamers, who then tried to get Jean's attention. Jean, however, was completely unresponsive. They quickly ended the stream and rushed Jean to the hospital. Sadly, it was too late. 46-year-old Jean Parmenov had already passed away in his sleep and was officially pronounced dead at around 4 a.m. This was devastating news for the tens of thousands of fans who love tuning into his streams every single day. But as the headlines spread across the internet, more people began looking into the events leading up to the incident. And the disturbing things they discovered made everyone look at it from a different angle. Not as an inevitable tragedy, but a preventable homicide. And it all pointed back to the main two individuals Jean was streaming with, Owen and Safine. You see, Jean didn't have the best life before becoming a streamer. He was a military veteran, but due to his deteriorating health, he had trouble finding regular work. This forced him to live with his mother with no outside connections. He began streaming in March 2020 as a way to combat his loneliness and make new friends. However, the clips of his over-the-top yet entertaining reactions to losing went viral on platforms like TikTok, allowing him to amass a sizable audience over time. This was a win-win situation for Jean, as he was earning good money while also collaborating with other French creators. And that's where Owen and Safine entered the picture. They not only began streaming with Jean, but also formed an entire content strategy around making him angry and recording his reactions. Now, it can be argued that, at least by this point, Jean was in on the scheme. He knew the audience wanted to see him burst out in entertaining ways and leaned more into that character. However, things took a darker turn once he moved in with the two to make IRL content. As people were going through his old streams and videos after his death, they discovered hundreds, if not thousands of instances of Owen and Safine getting physical with Jean. And it wasn't something lighthearted.
That's fucked up, man. They're all like beating the fuck out of this dude.
I can't show the vast majority of these instances or describe what happened in them on YouTube due to just how graphic and abusive they are. All I can say is that Owen and Safine's harassment included everything from rather harmless stunts like breaking an egg on his head to acts that could be potentially life-threatening. This type of behavior was a consistent part of their streams, where they essentially treated Jean as a living punching bag. And the marathon stream was also more of the same, with everything tuned to the max to increase shock value and by extension their viewership. So, when Jean tragically passed away on stream, many on the internet pointed fingers at the two behind it all, Owen and Safine. People argued that his already frail structure was made significantly worse by the constant stress he was under from the two. Worst of all, they seemed like they were well aware of this, as just days before his end, they made Jean declare on stream that if anything were to happen to him, it wasn't their fault.
Ouais, c'est vrai. Alors que. Ah non, à moins qu'ils disent face caméra là maintenant, que si demain il meurt en plein live, c'est dû à son état de santé de merde, et pas. Je dis que face caméra, que si demain tu meurs sur scène, c'est dû. Mais oui, comme Dalida a dit.
S'il m'arrive quelque chose en live, que ça vient pas
Clipper.
que ça vient pas d'eux.
The online backlash also sparked an investigation into Jean's death. According to Owen's lawyer, everything they did to Jean on stream was consensual and nothing more than an act for the sake of entertainment, stating, "There were things that were scripted, there was improvisation, there were shots that were simulated. What you see on the screen is not the reality of what was being experienced." The autopsy report also concluded that the cause of Jean's death was his own poor health and that there was no foul play. But in the eyes of the thousands following this case, his health only deteriorated to this point because of how the other two treated him over the past 3 years. That said, the investigation is still ongoing, and for now, it's unclear how it will end. Valeria Marquez was a 23-year-old Mexican model, businesswoman, and digital creator from Jalisco, Mexico. She showed interest in the world of beauty and fashion from an early age, and following her dream, managed to receive the title of Miss Rostro in 2021. The fame from this title allowed her to open her own salon named Blossom the Beauty Lounge in Jalisco, as well as kickstart her online career on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. In addition to posting her latest modeling photos, she also streamed on these platforms almost every day from her salon to share beauty and fashion with her viewers. Things were looking good for Valeria. She amassed over 320,000 followers across both platforms, with her eyes set on even bigger goals. However, before Valeria could realize these dreams, her life was cut short in an incident she had no way of anticipating. On the afternoon of May 13, 2025, she went live on TikTok as usual. But just as she was about to start talking about new fashion and beauty tips, she was interrupted by a delivery. Someone had apparently sent her a stuffed animal as a gift. She returned in front of the camera to show it off, but was interrupted once again by the delivery driver asking her to confirm her name. She then muted the stream to talk to the delivery driver, but as soon as she did, the guy pulled out a firearm and fired multiple shots at Valeria. By the time medics arrived, Valeria had already passed away. The killer had also fled the scene without a trace. The only clue police had to identify him was a single second of their voice that was broadcast live through Valeria's stream.
Hola. Sí.
Unfortunately, that hasn't been very useful. The police still haven't identified the perpetrator at the time of writing. That said, people on the internet have come up with a number of theories trying to crack this case. The most prominent suspect in these theories is a man named Ruiz Velasco, who is a high-ranking member of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. He was apparently in a romantic relationship with Valeria when the incident occurred, which could explain a potential motive. Some people also noted that soon after the shooting, a girl who worked at the salon picked up Valeria's phone to end the stream. This was highly unusual behavior for someone who had just witnessed her boss and possibly a friend become the victim of a violent attack, where instead of calling an ambulance or police right away, her first instinct was to turn off the live stream. This odd behavior has led many on the internet to point her out as a possible accomplice of the killer. That said, there isn't any evidence to confirm or deny these theories for now, and the police haven't made much progress either, leaving Valeria's case unsolved for the foreseeable future. Brian Vignault, also known as Pashibrid, was a decently popular World of Tanks streamer with over 7,000 subscribers. He started streaming back in 2012 and slowly built a loyal following for himself. The thing his viewers loved most about Brian was his consistency. He streamed multiple times each week without taking any breaks, with many of these streams reaching double-digit hours. In addition to being a dependable streamer, Brian was also extremely charitable at heart. He raised over $11,000 in charity over the years for veterans and notable organizations like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. On the night of February 19, 2017, he was doing another one of his charity streams for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Now, usually when streamers do charity streams, they set certain incentives, like shaving or dyeing their hair at certain milestones. Brian, however, took a different approach and promised a continuous 24-hour stream to his audience instead. The plan worked as expected, allowing him to gather over $2,400 from his audience by the 20-hour mark. He also pledged to donate $500 of his own money in addition to all the donations. However, just as the long stream was about to end, something happened that no one could have anticipated. At around the 22-hour mark, Brian stepped away from the camera for a short smoke break, but he never came back. His audience, however, wasn't worried one bit. You see, Brian had already done multiple nearly 20-hour streams that week and was running on fumes during the charity stream. He was constantly dozing off and jolting awake as the 24-hour mark got closer. He was also just 35 years old and had no major medical issues. So, when he left the stream and never returned, most assumed that he'd likely just fallen asleep. Sadly, that couldn't have been further from the truth. The reality of what happened to Brian came out a day later when one of his moderators saw that he was active on Discord. They sent him a message asking about the end of the charity stream and if he was okay, but the person who replied from his account wasn't Brian. As it turned out, seconds after getting off camera, Brian collapsed and never woke up again. He was rushed to the hospital, but sadly did not survive. The person who responded to the moderator was a detective, combing through Brian's messages in hopes of finding a clue about his otherwise mysterious death, though the reason was fairly obvious to some of his fans. Put simply, Brian's death was likely the result of days of exhaustion and lack of sleep. Usually, someone this tired would fall asleep automatically, waking only after their body had gotten the rest it needed. But in rare cases, like for Brian, the fatigue could prove fatal and strike seemingly out of nowhere. The only silver lining in Brian's tragic end was that his fans banded together and raised over 19,000 Canadian dollars for his wife and 3 young children. And while no amount of money can replace the presence of a father, this sum likely helped his family during their greatest time of need.
Genuinely some pretty fucked up
On
shit.
August 31st,
Genuinely.
2020, Ronald McNutt, better known as Ronnie, went live on Facebook. He streamed on the platform quite often and even had a small but dedicated fan base. These streams usually covered topics like comics, movies, and other pop culture stuff, as Ronnie had been a big fan of superhero media since childhood. And this stream looked no different at first glance. What none of the viewers tuning into this particular stream knew, however, was that they were about to become witnesses to a horrific tragedy. And while the incident itself seemingly came out of nowhere, the path leading up to it did not. Ronnie was born on May 23, 1987 in New Albany, Mississippi, and had a fairly ordinary childhood. Growing up, he had a normal school and social life, and like many other teenagers of that era, developed an interest in comic books as well. However, things changed when he decided to join the army in the mid-2000s. And after finishing his training, went on to serve the US in the Iraq War in 2007 and 2008. The war unfortunately took its toll on Ronnie. He developed severe post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, from the atrocities he witnessed during deployment, and became a fundamentally different person. As his close friend Josh Steen later described, "He didn't seem to be the same guy that left for Iraq once he exited the service. I spent many a late night in our studio via text message and in person talking with him about life and his struggles." However, despite suffering from PTSD and depression, Ronnie tried his best to be the jolly guy he always was. He also spent much of his time raising awareness about the issue and trying to help other veterans who'd gone through the same experience as him. And when he wasn't advocating for veterans' mental health, he was working hard to get his life back in order, starting with getting a job in the local Toyota factory and also starting a relationship. His streams on Facebook, as well as his Just Us Geeks podcast with Josh, were also a part of his plan to regain some semblance of normalcy. The goal was to rekindle the love for superhero media he had before his military deployment. Fortunately, these efforts paid off, as Ronnie managed to settle into a fairly normal life over the next decade. At least, that's what it looked like on the surface. You see, according to those closest to him, Ronnie never received any professional help for his psychological struggles. To him, toughing it out was the best way forward. Sadly, there's only so much pressure the human mind can bear before it reaches complete hopelessness. For Ronnie, things began spiraling in August 2020. It started with him posting about missing his father on what would have been his 69th birthday on August 14th. Sadly, his father had passed away back in 2018. A few days later, he was fired from his job due to the pandemic. And if that wasn't bad enough, his girlfriend also broke up with him not long after. Ronnie might have been able to endure each of these incidents on its own, but facing them all at once proved too much to bear, resulting in him making the tragic, irreversible decision to end it all. On the 31st of August, he went live on Facebook with a firearm by his side. His friend John was one of the early viewers and quickly realized what was going on. He immediately called the police and also rushed over to Ronnie's house. In the meantime, he also contacted Facebook, hoping to get the live stream taken down before anything happened. Facebook, however, refused to take the stream down, stating that it did not violate any of their policies. Josh also tried to call Ronnie himself, but he did not answer. A few minutes later, Ronnie received a call from his ex-girlfriend, who was likely prompted by others to reach out. Sadly, this call led to a brief argument between the two, resulting in Ronnie saying his final words. The cops were already outside, preparing to speak to Ronnie through a megaphone. Unfortunately, neither they nor Josh was able to reach him in time. The stream also kept going for minutes afterward, giving people plenty of time to record and spread the aftermath of the incident across the internet. Platforms like Facebook and TikTok came under fire for not controlling the spread of the footage in time. Though, as more people became aware of Ronnie, looked him up online, and reached his Facebook profile, they were greeted with his somber final words in a final post reading, "Someone in your life needs to hear that they matter, that they are loved, that they have a future. Be the one to tell them."
Alright. That video's over. Let's get some shit going. Like, what's a good one to watch? I can't see a lot of this shit. Every... I definitely fucked that up. I want to watch this guy, Eddie Rebbe. Yeah, let's see what he's done recently. I hate my phone. Just get rid of it. Alright. I don't know. Let's watch this dude get rid of his phone. Fuck it. Let's see what this dude fucking does.
Wait, am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials where they stand in front of the Statue of Liberty and talk about how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I was scrolling through Twitter, an app that I hate, wasting my time.
Oh, let's hear this dude, bro.
FaZe Sway's GF, Alina Rose, gifted one of the guys her used panties during the Bop House 5v1 stream with Vex Bolts. Now, I only recognize, I think, one word from that sentence, and it's the word panties, and it made me realize something. I hate my phone. I am constantly using my phone to see things that I don't want to see. Over the last few years, it has become increasingly unfun to use this thing. So why do I keep using it? Apps and social media have gotten much better at drawing me in, but lately I'll break out of my screen time feeling like nothing of value happened. I feel like a lab rat, incentivized by cheese. But instead of delicious cheese, I'm being fed dorky-ass clips of Elon Musk. It's embarrassing. Not embarrassed? Next time you get sucked into your phone, tell the next person you see everything you were up to for a full hour of screen time. Okay, so my friend sent me this Instagram reel of a screenshot of a tweet about Drake playing Fortnite with Ninja in 2018. And then I just sort of kept scrolling through reels for an hour, but I don't remember any of them. Like a lot of people my age, my smartphone has attached itself to nearly every aspect of my daily life. And it's really starting to make me feel like it's having a negative effect on me. But most people like me that daydream about getting rid of their phone just can't. Their job requires it. They have kids. They have to keep up with their Balatro addiction. But I don't have a
Fair,
real job.
you know, you gotta gamble.
I don't have kids.
I get that.
I deleted Balatro.
That really
because I
makes
played
a
it on
lot
the
of
toilet
sense.
Too much. And then it hit me. I could be a lab rat, but in an experiment about getting rid of my phone. In 2025, what does it look like for someone in their late 20s living in a major city to completely get rid of their cell phone? Well, I'm going to find that out because over the next month, I will be locking my phone in this safe and I will not be opening it. So, without further ado, let's find out together. I actually didn't do any prep for what I'm going to replace my phone with. Okay, actually, we need to do this tomorrow, so. Now it's beeping.
That dude is getting fucked up with a fucking whatever the fuck little USB goddamn saver.
Now, obviously, a phone these days is a lot more than just a phone. But everyone in this day and age needs a telephone. Many people who ditch their smartphone these days go with an old flip phone, now referred to as a dumb phone. But I got a flip phone to keep in contact with my parents when I was out riding bikes at 12 years old. So for the majority of my life, I've had a device in my pocket that makes me reachable at all times. I want to experience what life was like before the cell phone. So I went even older and began looking into getting a landline. Luckily, this was pretty simple. Some major phone companies, for some reason, still offer a landline service. But what landline should I choose? There were so many decades and styles to choose from. I could go wireless. I could go with an old rotary. I could keep it to the classics, like Sleeping Goofy, M&M's Hanging Out, or Pooh. After weighing all of my options, I finally decided on a mix of everything. A corded landline that still had an answering machine and caller ID. Oh, a landline with an answering machine is not old school enough for you? That's too much new tech? Well, my ass got a Rolodex to pair with it. Now, if you're somebody whose knees still don't hurt, a Rolodex is basically your contact app, but on this fun little spinny wheel. So I spent an hour of my day just sitting down and copying my contacts from my iPhone onto different Rolodex cards to make sure that I had the number of everyone I needed to call over the next month. But I don't want to just call everyone. I want everyone to call me. I want to be
Fuck yeah.
popular.
Who wouldn't want to get called?
Whoa. So I posted my landline number on my close friend's Instagram story to inform people in my life that I wouldn't have my phone. But not everyone in my life is on my close friend's Instagram. Some don't have Instagram at all, and some are finding out just now that they're not on my close friends list. So I began texting people in my life the information as well. Other than a telephone, I use my phone as a tool for many aspects of my life. I began replacing as much as I could think of with alternatives. I filled out a physical calendar. I got notebooks and pens to replace my notepad app. Grabbed a film camera to take photos with. Every morning, I set an alarm, so I replaced it with an old-fashioned alarm clock. Oh, man, that's gonna piss me off. Why didn't I get a digital alarm clock? I'm getting rid of my phone, not becoming Ebenezer Scrooge. Also, just in case of any major text that I may miss, I hooked up my iMessage to an old laptop Chrissy had, but being able to check text all the time felt like cheating. So I bought this chess clock and decided I would only be able to clock in 5 total minutes checking text the entire month. Wait, this thing takes C batteries? Okay, I'm not gonna use the laptop until I can get some C batteries then. There was so much to replace, but there's one I chose not to. I use my Apple Watch daily for fitness statistics, but honestly, I don't really need it to exercise. I just have to find the willpower to hit my goals without closing these colorful rings. When I got the watch, it felt like a super useful upgrade to my life, but I quickly realized that my phone was now on my wrist at all times. Sometimes even sending ads for Yelp or Postmates to my own arm. So I don't know how much I'll miss this thing. Except for Snoopy. I will miss you, Snoopy. I'm sorry I'm putting you in a box. Lastly, I replaced the iPhone's video camera with a Sony camcorder. Looking at all the items that would replace my phone sprawled out on the floor, I decided I was prepared enough to begin.
This guy's taking like a really dedicated approach to this. Oh man. More power to him, bro. Seriously.
Hotels and resorts, you can explore the neighborhood.
Bro, fuck these ads,
Live like a
bro.
local. Unplug for the day.
It was mid-afternoon by the time I started, so I decided to check if I had any calls or messages on my landline. I had posted and sent the number to almost everyone I know, so I was sure there was a ton of missed calls and voicemails to listen to.
Wednesday, 1:04 p.m.
Hi, Eddie. It's Mom. I'm just calling to see if your phone works. You don't have to call me back. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
End of messages.
Within a few minutes, I came across the first minor hurdle of not having a smartphone on me. After checking my email on my computer, I saw that there was a package down in my mailroom. Now usually, to unlock the mailroom lockers, I open an email on my phone and scan a barcode. But luckily, they also provide a numeric code to put into a keypad. So I grabbed a notepad and I wrote the code down. We're not talking about the notepad app here. I mean, I put a pen to paper, like a soldier in World War II, sending a letter home to his girlfriend who has now taken his spot on a Major League Baseball team. I think that's what it was like. Honestly, the only war movie I've seen is A League of Their Own. Hello, Eddie from the future here. This is absolutely the last thing that I'm editing, and I have not seen this footage until now. So on the first day, I walked out of the apartment, Chrissy changed the code to the safe, wrote it down, left for her apartment, and I asked her to hide it in a place I'd never check, and apparently she put it in a case of Black Ops 2, but under a disc of Jingle All the Way 2. I don't even know where she got this movie. I don't even know why she has Black Ops. For over a decade, my iPhone has been an extension of my body, an extra limb that connects me to the world of the internet. So the first few hours with that limb severed had me feeling its phantom in my pocket. I decided to start keeping a tally in a notepad every time I felt compelled to reach for or check it. And within those first few hours, I realized something. I was bored. Truly bored. It was rainy in LA, I had finished working for the day, and didn't have everything ever made and everyone I've ever known at my disposal to fill the void. It hit me that the other times where my phone has died, or moments where I've intentionally put it away, my phone has not allowed me a true sense of boredom for the majority of my adult life. And the rest of the first day was really nice. I enjoyed the silence. We ended the night watching the movie Flow, which I absolutely loved, highly recommend. And while I never check my phone during a movie, not getting a vibration or needing to put it on Do Not Disturb felt great. And since I can use my computer, I decided to still log it on Letterboxd. But when I walked away from it for bed, that was it. No more internet for the night.
This is too much commitment to this, bro. I would never ever do this.
Why did I put it so high?
I would genuinely never do this.
The next day was an adjustment getting used to the silence, but I was already seeing benefits. Turns out it's easier to get up out of bed and go to the grocery store when you don't waste your first 30 minutes scrolling through Twitter. Or if you're experiencing one of your lowest lows, Reddit. Ooh, shivers down my spine just thinking about it. Oh, by the way, last night Chrissy and I had pasta, sausage, and Trader Joe's cheesy creamy greens and veggies. So if anyone wants these leftovers, they are 1 month old at the time of posting, and I will not give you my address. So let me know if you're interested. I also got the C batteries for the chest clock, so now I have a working chest clock and 8 C batteries that will sit in my drawer forever. Later that week, a few friends and I had planned to see Mickey 17. Last week, I offered to organize getting the tickets myself, forgetting that my phone would be locked in a box. Normally, as an AMC A-list member, I reserve the ticket on the app, show up, present my QR code to the greeter to be scanned, and suddenly I'm in. Now obviously I know that a cell phone is not the only way you can get into a movie theater. I worked at an AMC when I was 19. If you were at the AMC streets of Woodfield in 2016, there's a solid chance your ticket stub was ripped by me. But I wasn't sure what the process was anymore. Part of my job used to be selling tickets, but due to online and mobile sales, that job seems to have been phased out after quarantine. So I went to the AMC website, saved my ticket QR code, and sent an email of it to Staples so I could print it with a code at one of their printers. I then wrote down the Staples code along with my ticket confirmation as a backup. Is this overkill? Probably, but if for some reason I couldn't prove my purchase, I'd be ruining the whole night for my friends. So I headed over to Staples, and after inputting the code from my notepad,
This is too extra, bro.
look at him, my beautiful boy, my pride and joy. Be honest, if your job was scanning QR codes, would you trust one sitting on a blank page like this? During our drinks before, I was beaming with excitement to use my QR. Look at how proud I am of it. But I had no idea what was waiting for me in the theater. Now, fortunately for me, and unfortunately for labor everywhere, the AMC ticket sales employees have been replaced by kiosks. So I headed there to scan my QR code instead of the greeter because I got nervous.
Did you guys see?
Disaster 1. I froze the machine.
Broke
I was
it?
confused. I clicked the keypad and I think I broke it, so I think I'll have to.
Luckily, there was an open machine next to me, so I made a quick recovery only for Disaster 2. My QR code was printed so inconveniently that it wouldn't fit in the scanner. I desperately folded the paper as my friends waited on me for their tickets. And it just wouldn't scan.
Hold on.
My baby boy was a disappointment. But you could just use the credit card you bought the tickets with. So I didn't need to do any of this. Didn't need a phone and could have just shown up with my credit card. Okay, so there are minor inconveniences like writing things down or bringing my credit card. But I wanted to know what it was like to traverse a city without my phone. But first, a quick word from the sponsor of this video. I'm stuck in a fly trap. I fell for the damn light bulb again. I want to thank SoFi for sponsoring the next portion of this video. I've talked about SoFi before, the next-gen finance app that helps you bank, borrow, invest, and protect your money all in one place. They've just launched SoFi Plus, America's most rewarding financial membership all-in-one app. With SoFi Plus, you can unlock $1,000 plus in value across banking, investing, spending, and more. Available for just no cost with direct deposit or $10 a month. Stressing again, no cost with direct deposit. Doing some math to determine how you can best maximize on SoFi Plus benefits, if you have $3,200 or more in your account, the $10 monthly fee is 100% worthwhile with key SoFi Plus features, including 3.80% APY on bank saving balances, 1% match on recurring SoFi investment deposits paid in rewards points. SoFi Plus experiences exclusive access to VIP sports and music events.
You're
and more.
not
To
a
celebrate, SoFi is
problem.
giving away a total of $600,000
What is
in
good?
prizes to help 6
It's
winners
good to see
achieve
ya.
top ambitions from buying a home to fast-tracking retirement. Yeah, they're
Did
giving
have
away
a
money
good
that
day,
you
yo.
can use for
It is
this
good
list of
to
things,
see ya.
or whatever you
Yeah,
want.
no, I
Give
made
me
you
your
mod
money
as
if
soon
you
as I was
want.
done with
I
that
do not care.
stream.
Sign up for SoFi Plus to be entered for a chance to win.
I'm
and
staying
for every friend
extra
you refer, you
hydrated,
earn an
extra.
additional entry.
Honestly,
Head to
maybe I should get a drink in a little
SoFi.com/Eddie,
bit.
Scan the QR code on
But
screen or click the link in the
I'm
description
staying
to learn more about
semi-hydrated.
SoFi Plus and enter for a chance
Hell
to
yeah.
win. Thank you so
You want me to watch
much.
anything?
Back to the
Any
video.
cool
I
YouTube
will
videos
leave
you want
it.
to queue
I
up?
need to get unstuck first. Don't help
So
me.
what I'm doing right now is viewer directed. So if there's something you want to see me
This morning
watch
I woke
and me
up
react
a
to, you
massive
could just
dropping
drop a
of bird
URL
shit
in the
on my
comment.
bathroom window, which is
I'll take the
gross.
URL
But hey, without
and
the
I'll put it
phone, it's
on
something
my
new to look at
browser
while
right
I'm
here.
on the toilet.
Actually,
I guess
right here.
It's no secret why someone in this day and age
Right
may
there.
begin to resent their phone. But one
So
of
yeah,
my main motivators
let
to
me
give
know.
this a try may
And
surprise
would be
you. A
don't
few
mind
months
it
ago,
as long
Chrissy
as
and
you're
I
having fun.
binged
Yeah, no,
all
I'm
the
having
Sex and
fun.
the City.
I'm
We
just
watched through
chilling.
every season,
Hell yeah.
movie, and even the
Rock
new
on,
series
rock
on
on.
HBO. I
Hell
mean
yeah.
HBO Max. I mean Max. Fuck.
I'm
Sorry.
kind of
But
just
other than having a blast
like if
with
there's
girls
anything
and
you
being
wanted
a
to
big
show
geek
me or
at my
anything,
core,
that's
there
what
was
like
one
kind of this
aspect of the
stream
show
is.
that
It's
I
more
just
like
couldn't
viewer
shake.
directed. I'm letting everybody kind of take the helms here. Like if there's anything you'd like me to see me watch,
Well, laugh.
I'll
It's a
totally
joke.
oblige.
No, not that. Sorry.
This is a video about a dude who's quitting. He's not using his cell phone anymore. Oh, it's kind of boring though. So low key, if you actually had something you want me to watch, I'd put it on.
Man, I gotta text my editor, but I don't have a cell phone, and my editor's me, so he doesn't have a cell phone.
But
either.
thank you
Gonna
for
be tough.
popping out.
The show
Not
starts
not
with
a
Carrie in
problem.
her
Not
early
a
30s.
problem.
But even though I'm a young 28, not even fucking close to 30, the era of life that Carrie, Samantha, Miranda, and Charlotte are in is pretty similar to mine. The one glaring difference, other than being in LA instead of New York, is their lifestyles without smartphones and social media impacting it. Of course, this isn't a staple of the show, but the times the show belonged to. The new series has to adapt to our new world just like we do. Carrie is a podcaster. She tweets. Everyone uses their smartphones. But even though I was always aware that times had changed, it didn't feel so drastic until I watched the original show. No dating apps, no creating a second version of yourself online for the world to perceive. On a night in, Carrie writes, Miranda watches TV, Charlotte reads either the Old Testament or the New Testament, depending on what season you watch, and Samantha gets laid. They don't pull out a little computer that shows them what everyone they've ever met is up to at that exact moment. Charlotte doesn't do the dishes with her AirPods in, catching up on the Twitter drama between the richest man in the world and Hassan Piker. Samantha doesn't watch the Costco guys on Fortnite Friday.
I mean, if it's something that we really like a lot, that's 5 big booms. Something we're not that crazy about could go down to 1, and then anywhere in between.
What?
Of course.
And they also call each other for plans.
The
They don't
Costco
use a
guys,
GPS.
bro.
They agree on a time to meet somewhere.
That's a true ball
and then
reference.
They just like hope that it all works out. And that's what struck me most of all. It was the intentionality in making plans and navigating a city. If you're older watching this, feel free to roll your eyes, because this was what the world was like until very recently. But because I'm such a young, fresh 28-year-old, I have never in my life made adult plans without the convenience of a smartphone. If I want to drive or Uber somewhere, I don't really need to know where to go because the GPS will handle it. If I want to take public transit, my phone will give me live details on what to do. If I'm running late, I can text and update the person. I have Google at my fingertips to answer any question that I could ever think of. So what do I actually do when I make plans? I might as well get to a dinner and have the waiter cut my spaghetti for me. There was just something about the way that the girls went through life that just felt more grown up to me. I couldn't help but wonder, has my phone kept me from becoming a fully capable adult? Ready for my hairy night out, I needed to call one of the girls. Looking to have fun cocktails and
That's
a
a
yap
genuine
sesh, I knew
possibility.
just who to call.
It
My
can
friend
be.
Jordan. I planned on taking the bus because even though I could Uber
Truly
there from my
can be.
desktop, I'd need to cheat and ask Jordan to call my Uber home on the way back. But to take the bus, my two options were change, as in
Is this a
coins,
story
which
about
I
a
do
man's
not have
relationship
because I'm not an
past?
1800
No,
prospector
it's a
ordering
story about
whiskey
this
at a
dude who
saloon.
quit. I
Or
don't
the
know,
public
brother.
transit app on my
This video is
phone.
weird, not even
Oh,
gonna
my
lie. It was a
phone.
video
Shit,
supposed to
I
be
don't
a
know if you guys
video
know
about
this, but
this
I
guy who
locked my
quit
phone
using
away.
his cell
After a
phone,
quick
like his
search, I saw
iPhone,
that
like
you can get a
day to
physical
day.
tap card in LA at
But
most
now it's
pharmacies
kind of
and grocery
devolving a
stores.
little, I'll
So
be
I walked
honest
over
with
to
you.
CVS and couldn't find a tap card anywhere. I asked the manager. if
Oh,
they
I
sold
mean,
tap
now
cards.
actually we're
He
getting
said,
a little bit back on track.
we should, but I'm not sure that we do. After confirming that they didn't, he was so helpful and told me you can get them at the train station. I thanked him and said I needed it for the bus. And he goes, oh, you could just get the app on your phone. My dumb ass goes, right, thank you. I'm doing this thing where I don't have my phone, but thank you. What the fuck was that supposed to mean to him? Anyway, I went over to Ralph's and yet again, no card. Until I asked an employee and she walked me over to their work desk, busted out a dusty fanny pack from a bottom drawer and got me a card. The whole process seemed like there hadn't been a physical tap card purchase in years. This whole ordeal gave me just enough time to get ready and call Jordan to let him know what time to meet.
Awesome. All right. Well then, hopefully nothing goes wrong. If it gets to be like, you know, too late, just give up on me. I'll go home. Okay. That's true. You're the perfect person for me to fuck this up with. All right. I'll see you there.
Next, I headed over to my computer, went to Google Maps, clicked on the transit direction to get to the bar, and wrote down the specific bus routes I'd need to get there. My bus was leaving very soon, so I had to rush out the door. Now, depending on where you are, who you are, and what age you are, I am not recommending that you also travel alone without your phone at night. Smartphones have offered a lot of safety to people who are by themselves, so just know that I wanted to do this, and unfortunately, it's a bit safer for me than for some of you. Look, it's no surprise from my personality, my writing, and my general vibe that I am an overthinker. So on my way to the bus, anxious thoughts were flying by. What if I miss my stop? What if the bus doesn't come on time? What if I get lost and leave Jordan waiting? What if the bus explodes? And normally, I can quell these thoughts by getting confirmation on my phone. But shockingly, without the option to confirm, I was forced to face these thoughts head on. And you know what? It was super fucking easy to ride the bus without my phone. They say the goddamn street names out loud. Why was I worried?
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Have a good one.
I got off the first bus, crossed the street to the next stop, and waited for the second. No checking Twitter, just raw dog, no headphones at the bus stop.
That's the way to do it. That's a nice 7-Eleven. Beautiful.
Hopping on the next, I rode the bus toward drinks.
Wonder where this guy is based. Because it looks nice. I don't know. I wouldn't know exactly in the States where he'd be based.
At one point, I wanted to make sure I was headed in the right direction, so I asked a stranger, and he was super nice and helpful. And before he got off the bus, he nodded and fist bumped me. Not quite as good as nervously Googling and having Gemini tell me the wrong fucking answer.
Yerk,
but
what's
I'll
up,
take it.
Balthier?
And
Good
as
to
I
see ya.
became a tiny little speck in the rear view of the Echo
Yo, yo,
Park
yo.
Eco Union line, I turned to walk toward drinks.
Hold on.
I finally made it there, and lo and behold, agreeing to meet at a place without 5 text updates still works just fine. Jordan and I had a great time, yapping our hearts out. 2 young philosophers in a heated debate, going toe-to-toe in the marketplace of ideas. I, of course, was on the right side of whatever we talked about, and Jordan was in the wrong. But his British accent kept giving his words an authority that that made me insecure and angry.
Hold
Also,
on.
we did need to use Jordan's phone to get my bus route back because I did forget to look it up. Is someone telling me
I'm
a
doing
bus
well,
route
Bald
with their
here.
phone cheating?
I'm just
I
hanging
didn't
out,
use
you
my
know.
phone, but I sort of used someone else's.
I'm just hanging out, you know how
A
it
few
be.
hours and one too many cocktails later, Jordan walked me.
Oh, we're watching this video about this guy. He
It came earlier than
essentially is
expected,
like
and without my
quitting
knowledge,
using
Jordan captured my
smartphones for a
dorky
week.
ass scurrying to the door.
You
On
have
that
eaten
moment
though,
was
right?
really
Yes, I
starting to
have
hit me
eaten,
just
not a
how
problem.
normal
Yes, I
most aspects
have.
of my life felt without a phone. Sure, it
I
was
have
admittedly
eaten, not a problem.
sometimes a little bit dangerous. But is the harm that
I've
screen
probably
time
eaten
and
too much.
algorithms inflict on my brain really worth the convenience it brings?
At least
Well,
I'm
I'll be
honest.
honest. I've had one too many cocktails to find an answer.
Might be
to
both
that.
there. I got
On
like
Metro
multiple
TV.
chats going
You guys
on.
ever watch Metro
So I
TV?
got
It's a
my
show
homie
about
over here on
taking
Kick, and I got
bus.
you right
see
here
there? Look closer.
on Partay.
There I am. Every time I've mentioned to a friend that I was getting rid of my phone, one of the first things they'd say would be, "Oh, are you gonna start reading?" First, yeah. Second,
Ugh.
I was reading. Okay, not books, maybe. Does it count as reading if I read a tweet from Discussing Film that told me young Sheldon is
Rock
returning
on.
to do a sweepstakes competition for the
Rock on,
live-action
both here.
Minecraft movie?
Yeah, anything you want to see me watch, just
You're in charge.
drop the URL. If there's anything on YouTube you want to see somebody react to, something messed up, something interesting, something cruel, something, you know, anything. I don't care. Drop the URL. And I will react to it, and I will give you my opinion. Same goes for you, not a problem. Over on Kick, just drop a nice URL on, for YouTube, you know, because that's where we're at. And I will. I will entertain
into
you.
my retinas while I sit hunched over my table, or hunched over on my toilet, or hunched over on a bench. But after days of phone detox, I wanted to see how well my attention.
It's made it
span
so
fared
much
toward
easier now that we
uninterrupted
have this
reading. About
app
a year ago, I
on
was in a
Party. Shout
bookstore
out to
with my
Party's
friend
app,
Ian when he mentioned he had
which makes
recently
it
read the
much,
novel
much
Flowers
easier
for Algernon.
for
I bought it
communicating.
that day, planning to read it so we could discuss and have a connection.
Now what we
And
gotta
then
try,
it
if we
sat
could get them to
collecting
do
dust next
a
to my
like
Wii U for
integration
11 months.
with like bot tricks or something, that would be really, really cool.
Didn't get all the dust. Maybe one more blow.
But regardless,
Shit is
the app
baked
makes
on
it
there. So I
oh
lit a
so much
candle,
easier
got
to do
cozy,
all
and
this, you
began
know.
reading. And you know
To
what?
be able to just be like,
It was
oh, let me just
way
pull up my
easier
phone,
to
like,
focus.
oh, okay, I
got
see people
sucked
here,
into the
like
book,
I
and
have,
before
I have
broke
chat
any
right here, you know what I
concentration,
mean?
I'd read over 100 pages.
It just works.
Now I had plans that night, so I needed to rush
And
out
then I
of the
have
house,
everybody
but I
else right here,
didn't have a
YouTube,
damn
Twitch,
bookmark.
Kick, everybody right here.
Oh, perfect. Finally a use for my QR. Later that night,
He
I came
finally got
back
a
and
use
read
for that
another
QR
100
code,
pages.
didn't he?
Now, of course, people read a lot with their phones all the time. But for me, that vibration of a text or social media notification or an ad from Uber Eats or Postmates feels like somebody knocking at my window, trying to distract me and get me to stop reading. Over the next 10 days, I started to go about my everyday life pretty naturally without any major issues. I could go for walks by myself or with my brother and give 100% of my attention.
I gotta go get
did
my other
chores
cartridge.
in my free
I have another
time
cart.
without my AirPods.
Won't be- I
sometimes
won't be
in
long, like 2
silence or
seconds.
with a
I'm just gonna
vinyl,
grab
maybe
it,
a
twist it
podcast
on,
on
and
my
then I'll have
PS5 on occasion, but I didn't crave it. I was working on a video for the other channel I run with my brother, and I found myself procrastinating less, enjoying work more. Everything just started to feel normal. It's not like I shut out all of the internet either. I still followed the news and checked social media on occasion. But it didn't follow me in my pocket when I stepped away. The swirling mass in the back of my brain that the internet seems to occupy had completely
Yeah, it's not a
severed,
problem. I have
and I
eaten.
didn't miss it. I was embarrassed at the thought of how often in the past
Maybe
I
I'll
would
order
check
another
my
pizza
phone,
later. Who knows?
especially when I wasn't
possible.
really waiting on anything. Times where
Not
I felt
out of the realm of
anxious in public,
possibilities.
when I wanted to fill the silence. And the worst
Everything
of all,
should always be in scope.
involuntarily checking.
Ooh,
I was
nice. You like pizza?
a normie.
I'm a big pizza
And
guy. I love pizza.
I liked it. I read books more.
I might
sat
eat
in
more
silence.
food.
I enjoyed the eclipse and didn't
I didn't have a
text it
big
to
dinner, to
anyone.
be honest
I
with you. I
spent
had
an
a good
hour on
lunch,
rainy night just
small
watching
dinner,
the rain fall,
didn't eat breakfast.
enjoying the sounds
Maybe
of
I'll have
drops
like a
hitting
tiny
the pavement.
something.
I mean, what the hell? What's
They'll
wrong
order
with me?
like,
the next morning, I thought
something, who
surely the
knows?
rain washed away
I have,
the bird shit, right?
I mean, I have a lot of food actually frozen. Now that I think about it, I have White Castle sliders
I'll get to
frozen.
it later, or maybe it'll go away. Navigating the
fire.
world without the help of a cell phone made it
Those
seem
are
smaller,
gas.
less intimidating. I found myself asking strangers for help a little more and was less anxious when they spoke to me. There was only one time where I checked my texts on the MacBook, and after that I decided I didn't even need it. Man, I bought those C batteries for nothing. After just a half of a
Yo,
month
not a
without
problem.
my
By the way,
iPhone,
yo,
I
if you
started
start
to have the
spamming
thought,
emojis, they'll start bouncing
I don't know
all
if I want
around the
this thing
screen.
back in my life
So
anymore. And
it's
moving
something
into the
I
next
sadly
week,
don't
I
have it
continued to
incorporated
feel
in
the same
Party, so I
way.
apologize
didn't
both
want the
here if you try it.
experiment to
If
end
you do
after
it, see
30
it on the
days and was
corner
looking for
or in
some
the left
advice. When I
corner,
realized
and
I
then
knew
like
just
you
who
could
to
also
ask.
get different
I
ones to
wasn't the
bounce
only
around and do
person who
different
had
things.
tried out
Yeah,
different
it's
lifestyles for
cool.
a video.
It's
So I
cool.
decided I would
On
try
Twitch,
to
it
get some
has better
answers from an expert.
functionality. I've noticed. It might even be okay on Kick. I don't know. I'd have to like. You have to try a bunch. Different emojis do different things. You know, like the standard emojis built into your phone do different things. Yeah, it's just like a little thing, just for fun, you know. Yeah, see, you're starting to see it, all across the screen. You could spam paragraphs. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Have fun.
That you liked so much.
Yes, you see, it actually works well on Kick. So you know what it didn't work good on? Doesn't work that well on YouTube, because I did it. My buddy, or not my brother. My brother actually was on YouTube, and he was doing it, and it was shit. Like it was like only doing the combo that's in the left corner over there. And it wasn't like doing crazy cool effects. But then when he went to Twitch,
About halfway
it like
through the
went
month, I
nuts.
had mostly adapted to life
So
without
Twitch
the
and
phone,
Kick work
but I
good.
wondered how
YouTube
other
doesn't.
people would adapt to me.
Don't have
I
it
had sort of
working on
assumed when it
Party's
came to
chat
others,
currently.
the landline would be a
But
fun
if they
novelty.
do, if
People
they
would
ever
give me a
incorporate it with
call or
Botrix,
two
bro,
within the first week, and then
I would
just
do
wait
it
for me to get
immediately.
my
It
phone
would
back
already
so we
work.
could go back to normal.
If they did
But
it, I would
to
just
my
sign into my
surprise,
Botrix and it
that
would be
hasn't
done.
been the case
It would
at
work
all.
instant.
Hi, Eddie. It's Mom.
Hey, Eddie. It's Jarvis. What a wonderful voicemail you got there. It's time to walk. Call me back.
Eddie, we're on our way. You better get ready. We're on our way.
Yay.
Yay.
You say
Eddie.
that.
Woo. All right, bye.
Hey, Eddie. How you doing? Big dog. Hey, this is Zach. Mr. Burback. Need to reach you.
Dude, this is all his voicemails. What do you have a CRTs using too? That's rad.
Hey, Eddie. This is your friend Ash.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was given this number for. If I have an incorrect number, please let me know.
Happy Thursday. Talk to you soon. We were trying to reach you to do that dinner that we talked about.
A big part of why I kept my phone clutched to my chest for years was because I felt like I needed to be on call for people I know 24/7. I had feared that this experiment would annoy people, that it would make me more work. But it turns out everyone I asked said it was a breath of fresh air. They liked calling, they liked leaving messages and not having to worry about texting back. And I like coming home to voicemails. I like picking up and hanging up the phone. When I say
Oh wow,
bye,
that
I
actually I
end the
could see
call
how
with
this would be a
emotion and
more
physical feeling. Instead of the
better
new reality
experience
I've gotten
than
used
being
to, where you say
constantly wired in.
goodbye, there's an awkward
And you might even
pause,
be able
and
to
then
get
the
back
1
to
hour
people
and
more
30-minute
concisely.
takedown on the Beast games you were watching begins to play again. Personally, with a smartphone, I am way more likely to accidentally leave a text unanswered, to
Let me go
cancel
back
or
on,
delay plans when I'm not feeling
Party?
up to it. With the landline, though, I have to talk to people. When I'm feeling like I don't want to leave the house, hearing the voice of a friend excited to hang out washes that away, while a text about plans feels like work to me. I'm realizing that there are a bunch of small antisocial behaviors that I believed were becoming part of my personality, but is more so my relationship with a computer in my pocket that I'm addicted
Welcome in.
to.
I hope you all had a
However,
good day too. Make
the
sure to
landline
hydrate.
isn't all fun calls from friends and family. There is an
Hopefully
aspect to it
we
that has
can
been
get some
driving me fucking
a few more
crazy
people,
over
but
the
it's
last 2
okay.
weeks.
Listen,
Spam calls.
I'll stream
Spam
to you.
calls and scammers are hitting my line more
Appreciate
than
that.
anyone
That's very
else.
nice of you to
During
do, actually.
business hours of
Seriously.
the week, these
That's
assholes
seriously
are
nice of
calling
you to
me
do,
sometimes
because like
30 to 40
everybody,
times
not
a day.
everybody
When the landline is your
remembers that,
gateway
you
to
know.
the outside world
Got
and
it.
social
Got
life,
it.
you have to get up and check who's calling when it's ringing. So hundreds of times over the last 2 weeks, I've
Rock
jogged
on,
over to
though,
my
seriously, not a
landline
problem,
just
that's
to
some
see that
rocking
it's
stuff.
spam.
Yeah, this is Eddie. How are you? Doing good?
Sorry, was your name Eddie or is my name?
My name is Eddie.
My name's Eddie as well.
You know what? After this, we'll do some like we'll watch Urban Exploring
It's not?
or something like that. It's actually going pretty well. I like how the stream is going. It's comfy. It's cozy. It's chill.
What we're
You know.
doing is showing people a free, no obligation consultation and demonstration with our solar program. Devastating consequences for you.
This call is regarding your Medicare, as you already have Medicare Parts A and B both.
So why you're lying to me? Your name is Eddie.
Our records show you may owe over $10,000 in unpaid tax debt.
This could result in liens on your property.
Possibility for a hardship elimination.
A dog leans on my property. You better relax at that.
Message deleted.
Was this like a schizophrenic nightmare?
Message deleted. End of messages.
So yes, other than the spam calls, this has so far been a mostly peaceful growth experience for me. Getting rid of my phone has been the best thing I've done all year, blah blah blah. Let's talk about all the little ways that not having a phone has pissed me off. 1. I can't use certain apps that require a mobile phone number. I got invited to a party and had to find out about it through someone else because I can't log into my Partiful. Partyful is the main way a lot of people I know send invites to parties now. And when you're throwing a party and someone ignores an invite, you're not gonna call them and ask them if they got it. Of course they got it. They have a smartphone. So if I know you and I missed your birthday, blame it on the safe, not me. 2. There are a few useful tools on the iPhone that don't involve the internet, like tool belt type tools. Yesterday I was hanging frames on my wall and I couldn't use the level on my phone. Last week the power went out and I realized just how much I had gotten used to having a flashlight on me at all times. 3. I miss having a camera on me always. I love recording a little video of a squirrel or grabbing a funny photo to text someone. I've had to make peace with the fact that sometimes I've just got to enjoy a sunset instead of snapping it and sharing. On one hand, sure, it gives me a nice moment to take in and appreciate what's in front of me. But on the other hand, I can't use it as a moment to connect with someone, so it's 50-50. 4. Some friends are texters, some are callers. Friends that are texters have not really called my landline. They may have died. 5. Weather app. No weather app unless check computer. Don't know how hot it is. 6. I'm using my computer way more often for sure. Sometimes I'll still waste time on it like I do my phone, but it feels much more manageable when I can walk away. And lastly, 7, I'm hearing, hold up. Sorry, I thought I heard my phone ringing. Everyone knows about the phantom vibration you occasionally feel in your pocket when your phone is sitting there. That has disappeared for me. But I am now hearing phantom ringing in songs, in movies. Any similar tone has me perking my little ears up to check. But how does that all stack against crippling anxiety from social media and ruining my attention span? Well, like I said, I didn't have a level on me, so... One of the things I've enjoyed over the last few months is keeping up with current TV, mainly White Lotus, Severance, and a little bit of Formula One for all my Max Verstappen heads out there. And that part of my life was mostly unchanged, except I heard discourse about the shows through my friends' opinions and what they'd seen online. TV shows, politics, internet drama, basically everything that I'm algorithmically served are constantly placing people online into in-groups and out-groups. Like, if you disagree about a White Lotus episode in person, you're just hearing another perspective. But when a group of people have a different opinion on Twitter, it feels like large swaths of strangers are not like you over a micro diversion of an opinion about a show from Ned Schneebly.
You shut up! Shut up! You both just cut it out for 1 second.
Even though I was aware of this, time in the real world and away from my phone had me connecting with people in a much more positive light. Again, still paying attention to the news, so not saying everything's fine. Far from it. But not getting mad at invisible strangers and bots 1,000 times a day had me feeling a way I didn't in a long time. And during my final week, Chrissy was out of town cat sitting, which made me pretty unsure of how my final days alone would go. More recently, when I find myself alone in my apartment for an extended period of time, I've been increasingly frustrated with how much I use my phone, especially before bed. Sometimes internally screaming that I should put it down, but scrolling through TikTok for some reason. What's it gonna give me? But during this week, I got to do so much more regular chilling. Without my screen time, I watched more movies, read more books, exercised, cleaned, all shit that I normally do, but none of it was rushed because after work, I didn't waste a bunch of time on my phone. Also, speaking of chillin', I watched YouTube only on the TV for the last month and it ruled. Shout out to everyone who watches YouTube on the TV. I am thinking of you when I'm making videos. I appreciate you. If you're watching on something else, that's fine too. Also, shout out to laptop on a bed or laptop on a table. I can't hate on you for that. So I think it's safe to say that my attention span has been completely rewired over the month. But without the magic of texting, I was communicating with people way less. It was quiet by myself, and I couldn't mask it with a podcast or music to keep me company 24/7. So I needed to get out of the apartment.
Friday, 2:45 p.m.
Hey, little man. It's Katie. I'm calling to let you know that we're going bowling at 9 p.m. Be there. See you then, big dog.
This time when I took the bus, I did write down my directions just in case, but I've been retaining information for a full month without relying on my phone, so I just didn't look. I know where I'm going. And after arriving at the bowling alley, it was time to bowl.
And, yes please.
Yeah, okay, just press the thing up.
What followed was the greatest bowling I've ever seen. Strike after strike, nobody could be stopped. They almost kicked us out because they thought we were like cheating or something. Something about magnets. But we were using the balls that were there. Honestly, I'm like freaked out with how good we did. That's got to be connected to my not having my phone or something in some way, right? I don't know. But after some pro level bowling, we decided to get some food.
I thought it was just gonna be like, yeah. Oh, you're doing, okay, you're dancing. Yeah, keep going. Can you do it again? I don't think you had a...
Yeah.
Can you do more? That's just like not enough.
What is good? We love you, not a problem. You're the homie.
Suddenly, after some delicious food
Hell yeah.
and a lot of drinks, it was 2 a.m.
It's a long video though, for real. I'm gonna check.
Bus stop, but I told them I was fine waiting alone. Then it was just me and Los Angeles.
Well, we're only like 8 minutes away. Want some urban exploring after this or something like that? Sizzler, holy shit. It's a throwback.
With only 1 day left, I decided it was time to dust off an old aspect of my childhood and put it to the test as an adult. When I was a kid, I saw the takeover of portable GPSs for driving. At first, they were purchasable on their own, then a feature on my rich friend's dad's car. What? You thought he was the breadwinner? Well, it was actually my friend's mom who bought the car. Sounds like it's time to look inward about what we assume, I think. But before the GPS eventually arrived in every pocket in America...
As you're going, we'll be monitoring the traffic. We'll give you your ETA. If the traffic slows down in front of you, we'll update your ETA, and then we'll start looking to reroute you around it to find a faster route. And if we do, we'll offer it to you.
There was a website that would plan your route to print so you could take it with you on your drive. That website was MapQuest.com. Tony and I were going to follow MapQuest to Huntington Gardens and enjoy my final day of silence while the flowers were in bloom. So I routed our trip, sent my PDF to Staples, walked over, and man, I really should have fucking bought a printer for this.
You ready?
Hold on.
You good?
Yeah. Oh, you can't use your... We're doing MapQuest.
What do you mean?
Well, you just can't use your... I'm doing like a no phone thing.
But I want to listen to
Will
music.
you just fucking enjoy my company for once? The sound of my voice?
So just like traveling by bus, reading, prolonged silence, going to the movies, and taking landline calls, using MapQuest is way easier and less daunting than I thought. Dude, you just pay attention to the street signs and use your brain like 2% more. But we messed up a little bit. So we were on Temple Street, and we were supposed to get on Silver Lake Boulevard. Now, it said a slight right, and here's the sign. It clearly says that if you go straight, you're on Silver Lake Boulevard. You take a left, you're on Temple Street. But we were kind of talking, and there was a further left, so we were like, that one looks like it's straight enough. So we went left on Temple, but we eventually found Glendale. So we thought we had the directions correct until it said to take a slight right on Fletcher, 0.3 miles from the turn, and 0.3 miles from the turn was Echo Park Lake. And last I checked, the ramp for the 2 is not submerged in Echo Park Lake. Now, if you drive in Los Angeles, you might be thinking, how'd you fuck that one up? This is like a very famous and commonly known spot for LA driving. Well, Tony and I were deep in discussion about the fact that in our Spy Kids video, we accidentally called Fooglies Flugels. So you can see now that it was pretty important. But even then, it was fine. There's street signs for the freeway, so we just kept driving until we saw a sign for the 2. After that, it was smooth sailing. Overall, our mistake made us like 10 minutes late. You know, there have been a set of questions that I get from people asking about this whole thing that are mostly the same. How are you going to get around? What do you do if you miss a text? What if you get lost?
Still, you're not a problem, don't worry.
Those questions also come with a set of similar statements. Oh, I bet you'll feel so much better. You'll have so much more time on your hands. I'm so jealous. And that's because, at the start of this, I, along with you, probably knew where this would go to a degree. I'm not exposing a problem here that was hidden in the shadows. We all know it. We feel it every day. But those questions that kept me from doing it before didn't turn out to be that daunting. I did have to rely on someone else's phone for information or a text, but other than that, my life felt so normal. I think we're living in a time where our minds and our attention are such a currency, we need to start working out our brains like a muscle. And yes, that can be writing, reading, navigating, but I think you also need to build your own silence, your own peace. And that peace hurts the money of things keeping you on your phone. So the day will not come where Elon decides you need a break from Twitter for your mental health. There will not be a moment where people stop capitalizing on your anger, joy, sadness for their own profit. It's up to you to rip yourself back into reality as much as you can and take back what is rightfully yours. You. As for me, it was almost time to unlock the safe. I watched the countdown clock creep closer to 0, but instead of relief or confidence, I found myself filled with the same desperation for a solution that made me do this whole thing in the first place. What will my relationship with my phone be like after this? Will I lock it up every once in a while? Will I delete most of the apps and just use my computer when I need it? Will I lose everything I learned here and be stuck scrolling before bed again? After spending a portion of my youth in a cloud of buzzing noise, I had hoped to step outside of it, to turn around and be shocked at how much it had crept into every corridor of my brain. And that is exactly what happened. But I know that beyond a month-long experiment, it's unrealistic to go back to a world without the phone entirely. The thing is, I've known for years that the way I was beginning to use it was not good for me. I kept telling myself that I'd make a change, and until now, I never truly committed to that. So while I have no idea what my relationship to this thing will be in the future, I do know that it will not be the same as the past. It turns out the only way to stop using your phone too much is to just stop using it too much.
Too much.
It's like bird shit on your bathroom window.
The background is
You
insane
should
on your
clean it at
cam.
some point.
Are those
But hey,
our old
it gives you
arcade
something
machines?
interesting to
No.
look at on the toilet,
So,
and you can hope the rain will wash it away, or
here,
that a
wait.
crow
Maybe there's
never
an easier
dropped
way
a
I can
gross
do this.
load on your window in the first
Hold
place.
on, there might
But
be
if
an
you
easy way I can
really,
actually do this.
truly want it to get clean, you're gonna have to
After
roll
this
up your
video, you know
sleeves
what?
and do it
I'll
yourself.
do some shit for you. If I can. I don't know if I can. Video's done? Almost done. Like 2 seconds. Yeah, wait, hold up. Yeah, basically done. Alright, hold up. Alright, so I'll show you. Camera. Properties.
Bet you 3 Try Guys ideas. First one. Keith eats the menu. But like Keith eats.
Word. Oh shit. Yeah, okay. So you're seeing this right now. This is my iPhone camera. I just switched it to my iPhone. Streamception. I don't want to show too much because I don't want to accidentally show the key. But yeah, this is the room right here.
End of messages.
This is everything we got. This is the audio system. This is the Atari video music. The whole entire setup all hooked up. I don't have any arcade machines, but these are my consoles hooked up with this big boy. Then I have all these other TVs, my modern systems, my flat screens, my other systems, Ataris and shit, and this other flat screen's a 3D one. I got some LEDs going on, you know, and all these console boxes. This is my whole little collection here, and all the games. Then back there's like my desk and shit, you know, like different stuff. But yeah, that's basically what we got going on. Let me cut that. Disconnect. All right. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for your kind words, bro. Seriously. And now we're back on the MacBook. That actually freaking, like, I just want to know, did that work well? Like, how was that? Was that a seamless thing? You probably didn't hear me really well, though, because the microphone wasn't on my phone. The microphone's on my computer. But you did see everything. Like, I actually think I just did that really well. which is surprising. Looked good. Were you able to hear me okay, or did I sound like I was going far away? Just curious. Was it duplicated, or was there 2 feeds of audio? I'm just like curious, honestly. Love to know. Like, it's one of those weird things, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, seriously, that's my collection. I have a lot of shit. I'm very much into my craft, and I appreciate all this old stuff. You know what I mean? Let me switch back over to Party. See how Party's doing. I couldn't hear you much, but also that might have been me since I have hearing problems. No, I think it was this because the way my OBS is set up is my OBS has my microphone is using the microphone that's built into this laptop, and you know I was going far away. Like it wasn't like how OBS works is you have to set up each and every source. So if you want it to take microphone from there, you have to like set that up, but I did not do that. Like that was not something I did. So here I'm gonna put a new video on. My apologies for that, and I just wanted to take that little time to show you what I had going on. We're gonna look like urban exploring. Let's see, like urban exploring. Most apocalyptic mall? Alright, fuck it. Let's see. Looks cool, doesn't it? Oh, security alarms are going off. Ugh. What's that? Huh. Oh. Shit's flooded.
Once one of the largest shopping malls on the east coast of America, the Lake Forest Mall now sits in an advanced
Turn my volume
state
up a little
of
bit so
decay.
I can hear
Opened
this
in
good.
1978, it was once one of the top shopping destinations for people all around the DMV area. And at its peak, it had over 10 million visitors annually and over 200 stores to shop at. It seemed unstoppable, raking in over $150 million each year. But we all know that wouldn't last. As the late 2010s came, so did the decline of in-store shopping. Many of the small shops began to go under, and by 2019, the mall saw all of its anchor stores leave. By this time, there was only a few tiny stores left, and the mall was beginning to feel very dead. The mall was bleeding money, and in 2022, after a T-Mobile employee was stabbed to death inside of the mall,
Oh my
there was
God.
pretty much nothing left here. The mall was forced to close its doors in March of 2023, and since then, it's been on lockdown. With 24/7 security and cameras inside and out, this place is known to catch people and put them in jail for even trying to get inside. But with demolition on the way, I knew I would have to at least try to get one last look at this place before it was gone for good. As we were some of the first people to ever try this place after demolition was announced, we had no clue what to expect, but we prepared ourselves for the worst.
There's trucks right there. I don't think they have workers in them, so we don't have to be afraid, but it is pretty concerning. Yeah, there's a trail cam on that blue thing right there, and then I guess we just gotta try and get into here. Small is so overgrown. Oh, it's a Macy's. Shit, we gotta be careful. Stick real close to all the walls. He already checked that door. Fire department access. What? Can I check up there? Should we? Yeah, we should. Here, come on. That door looks... Oh, it has like multiple padlocks. It's bolted. Here you go. Where is it?
There's a door down there that may or may not be open. But it's all these push bar doors.
That looks like it's really not good. Do you think those push bar doors open? We have to make sure, or else I'm not going to be able to get out.
I think they only open from the inside.
Well, yeah, as long as they can open from the outside, we're fine. What?
Well, this is a 40-minute video. Oh man.
Are you f***ing serious? Taken out of this room before it flooded. 171,000 in the month of December, because that's just like, you know.
Skip through a little bit here.
Weird.
Like this.
Broken iPhone. There's some old graffiti from the employees when they got bored. And then I think this is another jewelry store. It might have been like a watch store. We are practicing social distancing. So this closed around the peak of COVID. Looks crazy. Look at that. Isn't that eerie? There's still so much I haven't explored here. Gotta go up these. Oh, Jesus. This is all mega blocked off. So yeah, we looked at the Ruby Tuesday earlier, but we didn't get a very good look at this. Dude, what the hell? These are all like, I think these are Pantons. This is full.
Did you say you think these are tampons?
Yeah, those are tampons.
Those are diapers, bro.
I've never had a girlfriend before, so. These are all tonic waters. Still in the boxes. Oh,
That's interesting.
oh my god. It's Best Buy 2023. All of these. Liquid Death. Sparkling grapefruit. And then coffee beans. Just all over the place. So much. It's actually crazy. There's no way we can explore this mall today. It's already like 7 p.m. and the sun is going down.
That's not bad. That's really bad, actually.
Alright, so this is pretty much where we left and picked up Ashton. I think we're gonna go down here. I have no clue where Ashton went. We have to find Ashton. Ashton? I guess I'm just gonna keep exploring. Go back to the main area.
But before we keep exploring this insane mall, I just want to give a quick shout out to Raycon, who sponsored today's video. These are Raycon's everyday earbuds, and they've pretty much become my go-to, whether I'm out exploring or just inside editing. The sound quality, the price, and the battery life on these things, like, you just can't beat it. They say they have about 32 hours of battery life on them, but I honestly don't know about that because I've been using these things non-stop, and I don't remember the last time I had to charge them. Now, just watch this. Hey! Unlike many other earbuds, these ones actually
Another
stay in place,
Raycon
so
ad.
whether you're running,
Damn,
climbing, or
they're having all the YouTubers, huh? For real though,
Another
yeah.
reason they're my
Except
go-to
me.
is because of the awareness mode, which lets me stay tuned
That's a
into
fact
everything
though,
that's
except
happening
me.
around me.
Yo, not a problem, bro. If you want to watch some, drop a URL. Don't be shy. I'll put anything you want on, seriously.
Noise cancellation,
I'm thinking I might hop on a
multi-point
game in
connectivity,
a
so
little
you can pair
while,
them
to
with
be
your
honest
phone
with
and
you.
your laptop at the same time, and quick charge, which gives you 90 minutes of playtime with only 10 minutes of charging. Over 4 million people.
What do you
already
think?
own
That's
there,
cool?
And they come with a 30-day happiness.
Do you think that would be
guarantee,
cool
so
if I
if you
hopped
don't
on a
know,
game?
returns are
Because
super
I
easy.
might,
Now,
honestly.
you may
I
be
may.
thinking, oh, with all
Maybe
the
in a little,
features,
like,
maybe
yeah,
super
we'll skip through this
expensive,
video
maybe
more
affordable,
here. You know
blah,
what?
blah,
Let
blah.
me
No.
get through this.
Raycon's
I really don't
actually
care
the most
on what
affordable
we are
wireless
watching
earbuds
up
on
to.
the market.
Okay, yeah,
And
bet.
now they're going big for Black
Bet.
Friday
You know
and
what?
Cyber
We'll skim
Monday.
through this a
So
little bit.
Somewhere I hear it.
We'll skim through this.
Crazy. It's so right now.
Because this is
I don't
cool,
know.
but like,
Can I
getting
get
too
a,
into it, you
combo
know? I think I
before?
might just play some Kirby. Or, honestly, what game would you want to see? I have a lot of games. You want me to play a certain game? I have Switch 2, PS5, Series X. Seriously, I don't mind.
Oh my god. Dude, look how fun it is over there. That's disgusting. They have all of the stuff still left on this desk. And then in here, just flooded. It's gross. As you can see though, they have all of that stuff back there. Like all of more nail stuff. I'm not gonna go back there because it's
Oof.
so moldy, I'm getting a headache.
That is disgusting.
Look at this. These are
Don't
all
mind.
the
All right,
items
you know
from
what?
the
So,
names
you know
you
what?
can
We're
choose
going to
from.
go live. You know what? We're going to go play some Kirby. I'm going to go make the thumbnail. I'll probably be live in like 10 or so minutes, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. You're the GOAT. Seriously, I appreciate you stopping by. I also got to fix the VCR because I think it's tripping up. I just saw a little tripping going there. So maybe that's perfect timing. Maybe it was all meant to be this way. But I will be back. I'll catch you in a little while, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for popping out, and I hope to see you soon. Be easy, not a problem. I'll be live in like 10